Stand-up comedy is such a beautiful art form, and it frustrates me because people don't really consider it art, right? Which begs the question, what gets considered art? And what gets considered art is whatever rich people say is art, right? Whatever rich people will fund and finance and buy and put in museums, that's what gets considered art, right? Like abstract art. I fucking hate abstract art, but rich people like it, so it's art, right? My least favorite artist of all time is Cy Twombly. I fucking hate Cy Twombly, right? First Cy Twombly painting I ever saw was on a canvas, a bunch of pencil scratches, a splotch of red paint, the word Lita, and the word swan. And the name of the painting was Lita and the Swan. No, it's not. It's scratchy, scratchy splotch. Why are you lying to us? You are lying right now. This other exhibit was 5 canvases, all painted red, all labeled untitled. Try! At least try! And this other exhibit was his shit bronzed. He bronzed his feces. And people paid to see this because rich people say it's art. And meanwhile, you have like folk art or traditional art, people that can carve like an elephant out of a block of wood or something they might do to survive, right? You think a rich art patron gives a shit about that? You know, like, oh wow, look at that, right? You carved an elephant out of a block of wood. Wow, I'm supposed to be impressed by this, right? A skill that's been passed down generation to generation for thousands of years that somehow preserves your culture. I'm supposed to respect that. Let me ask you a question, sir. What do you do with your doo-doo? The Museum of Modern Art is interested in caca this season. Moma wants caca. Moma wants caca. We're looking for the next Pollock of poo. And the thing is, when modern artists are given money, right, their heads get swollen. They're full of themselves. They think they're geniuses because they've been funded, right? Like Andy Warhol. I fucking love Andy Warhol. But Andy Warhol was a dick, man. He was in New York in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, part of that art scene, right? He had his gallery, The Factory, right? He had tons of money. He hung out with rich and famous people. Everyone said he was a genius, and he was full of himself. He wasn't humble, and you have to be humble, right? Andy Warhol wasn't even from New York. He was from Pittsburgh. That's less impressive to me, right? Now imagine if one day Andy Warhol's hanging out at his gallery, The Factory, hanging out with Basquiat or some shit, you know? And imagine if one day his friends from Pittsburgh randomly showed up without telling him, like how embarrassed he would be. Like, Andy, it's great to see you, baby, how are you? Oh my God, Jim, what the hell are you doing here? Me and the boys came to support you, Andy. We love what you're doing. That's a banana. That's Marilyn Monroe. That's a Campbell soup can. We've been drinking Campbell soup for years, Andy, to support you. You get a cut of that Campbell soup money, don't you? I'm joking. We're progresso people. Jim, I would really like you to leave. I'm not gonna leave. Not until I wave my terrible towel. Terrible towel! Andy Warhol! Pittsburgh Steelers! Football! War! Violence! Yeah! Oh my God, Jim. Look, I'm not that man anymore, okay? I want you to go. I'm not gonna go. Not until I meet your friend. What's your name, sweetheart? Hello, my name is Nico. Nice to meet you, Nicole. Do you play with the band? Yes, I occasionally sing with the Velvet Underground. The Velvets, we're not big Velvets people in Pittsburgh. We love Steely Dan. You love Steely Dan, don't you, Andy? I don't love Steely Dan. What boy from Pittsburgh doesn't like the Dan? I don't like the Dan. I bet you Basquiat likes the Dan. You leave Basquiat out of this. Jim, let me ask you a question. Where the fuck is this joke going? I have no idea what Hari's doing right now, Andy. I think the biggest problem is that he only knows 3 things about you, and he's already used them in the joke. Because he didn't even finish the Wikipedia entry, the most basic form of research. Oh yeah, this is very strange. Also, if you're from Pittsburgh, why do you sound like that? Oh, he's never been to Pittsburgh. Also, I don't think Steely Dan is actually from Pittsburgh. Oh yeah, this is terribly disappointing. It's just a bunch of random ideas and facts strewn together, pretending to make some kind of nuanced point. Is this a joke? No, it's abstract art. And those are the jokes that keep me on NPR and off television. I'm a Jeopardy man in a Wheel of Fortune world. God, that was like a skill level 10 for that joke, man. That is a hard joke to pull off. Like, it requires a great deal of skill and a very patient audience. You know?